Morning legends, it is team reveal Thursdays. We're starting it off with the Supercoach squads, the overall team here, and then the head-to-head squad, which, as I said in the last bunch of videos, is going to be where a lot of the content from me comes from, is mixing a lot of head-to-head stuff with some of the overall. There's so many podcasts out there that just focus on overall, so that's where I'm going to be coming in. But obviously, I've got to play for the best in that Podmasters league as well. So yeah, we'll be showing both of these here, and we're going to kick it off up top. So I obviously did start with Brandon Smith, thinking that there was a decent chance that we wouldn't get the Eels hooker situation, and that's exactly what happened. It did leave me an opportunity to go up a little bit higher in that secondary hooker position, but I did decide to spend my money elsewhere, and it's all settled pretty nicely. I'm very happy with where it's at. I did make my my one mistake, which we'll see down in a second, but yeah, that's just a 1 week thing, and we'll be fine from there. But Levi, we're not excited about it at all, but he's the cheap guy that's going to slot in there. Brandon Smith did look really good. Obviously, minutes were a little bit awkward on the weekend. Good chance it does go back into the 60 to 65 mark, given that their interchange got stuffed around a fair bit, to be honest with you, there, with a few of the guys getting injured and the like. So Brandon Smith has a decent chance in other games that he will come back on in that sort of last 10 minutes and get up to a 65. So we'll take the 48, given he was priced at 46. And the hooking position for myself was very similar to that of the front row forward position, was just about getting that points. Unlikely that any of these guys are going to make a hell of a lot of money. I suppose Appy has some sort of upside there, but for me, I've decided to just lock in Brandon Smith. If things go wrong with him, hopefully I'll have a bit of cash in the bank to be able to go up to another option. At the moment, it's 69,000 in there, and yeah, we'll make that work if it comes to that, with Brandon Smith getting injured or something like that, or a suspension, right? With Levi being able to cover in some capacity, right? So he's expected to score a 25, so that's beautiful. We move on to the front row forward guys. So in that position there, it's one where a little bit annoyed. So I was looking at, for those of you who are watching, I was looking at Jensen as a potential guy. I was looking at just leaving this spot, which I suppose if I left it, I might have ended up with like a Tambololo or something like that, which would have been, or a Flegler, something like that. So we kept Totola. That game was so high scoring, and I said that he'd be closer to a 50 in this game. That second stint, yeah, wasn't able to do too much, and yeah, is what it is for Totola. Not my best selection, but not worried about the position either. Given I got Terrell at 64, he's made up for that. So if you're looking at the front row forward position, I wasn't too excited about it either, given there wasn't a lot of upside. I thought Terrell had it. He was able to go 22 above his break even. Totola only 6 below. So yeah, you put that together, I'm making money on my front row forwards. With Totola, much higher chance of scoring better next week. On my bench, guys, I'm just backing that Liam Henry is good enough player that over the course of the first 6 to 8 weeks, he will have a few games where he gets some bigger minutes. There will be injuries, things will happen. Does he leave this side after Sorensen comes back? Potentially, and that's a bit of a worry, but we do have Sam Hughes to cover, and I think he'll be in that side each and every week. Likely 30 minutes and probably 30 or so points. And if we do happen to lose one of Totola or May, I'm very, very comfortable with Terrell and less comfortable with that of Totola, but we know that he's going to be there at least until that round 7 bye, so we can make, and then Terrell all the way to 14, we can make some decisions on those guys if there are issues that present. So happy with the front row forward, very settled on that. Hooker, some slight worries, but I think overall we're going to be fine. For the 2 RFs, Lukey, Fermor, I'm starting with him. We'll speak about that in a sec. Pitakura, and then Smithies, Trebojevic. I didn't start, guys. It was a bit of a mistake. Too busy focusing on content and not seeing the potential upside with Trebojevic. But yeah, should have played him over Smithies, I think, is the call. Or potentially one of the center wings that I've decided. But anyway, 72. Thank God it wasn't a double and over 100. So we'll cop the 72. It's likely to be what? 30 points. Let's just say someone gets 40 as my 17th guy. Yeah, we miss out on 32 points, which obviously is big in round 1. But over the course of the season, it's not going to be a big issue, and that's what I'm telling myself anyway. So that's that there. We move to obviously Fermor. So 470 odd, 467, sorry, for him. Lukey a little bit higher than that. So these two guys have plenty of upside. I think Fermor has the work rate and the ability to play close to 80 minutes, which we aren't seeing with a few guys. So I've actually removed Sean Lane from my team. I'm happy to watch him over the first couple of weeks. We can see what's happening with Piakura. We can see what's happening with Lane, and I don't think that he's going to go nuts over the first few weeks. He's always been one that we're happy to just plug in our starting team and then wait for him to get good. But with the chance of him not playing 80, I think I can leave him out for now, make some decisions elsewhere, and come back to Lane. Lukey, I think, has upside from ball one. Piakura, obviously, his injury. Most people started with him. Well, a lot of people did anyway. And then Bowie, I just think he can do really well, and we can cover him next week, obviously, with the Smithies, the Trbojeviches, and the like. That's where we're at on that side. For Joey Chan, guys, he's the one that is expendable at the moment. I could move him around. Obviously, Vilfa Feeder is a potential option in there. I do have a little bit extra in the kitty, 69, to be able to get to someone else if he doesn't happen to start. That could be the play. But we'll have to work that out come game day for them tomorrow. So yeah, but super excited that the official round one is kicking off tonight. So it's going to be super fun. So Trbojevic, obviously I can move up and down as well. So we'll we might just end up just playing him next week in the 2RF and keeping it that way. But we'll make that decision when we get to it. 2RF, I think there's a lot of moving parts in this one. Things can happen. I've got Jamin Salmon down below, who's a dual as well. So he could be a guy that if things don't work out, he could go up to a decent 2RF as well. And Trbojevic goes down. Simple things like that is where we're at there. So next one on the list, guys, we're going for Nathan Cleary and Nicho Hynes. Cleary currently is my captain. I have Kalen Ponga as my vice. So Cleary Hynes, just locking it in. Not too much to say on that one. My fancy one now, I actually ended up getting enough cash to get back up to Dylan Brown. So originally it was Brown in sort of weeks. Yeah, weeks ago, right? No pun intended. And then I had Metcalf in there with like a Flanagan, Weeks, whoever it was going to be, Strange potentially. But now I think I've ended up getting enough cash. So, I was talking about potentially going up to, a gun hooker. I decided to get Dylan Brown instead. It's just more safety in him. He's got a terrific buy schedule. He's going to be great for the 5'8" position. So that's Dylan Brown. And I'm super excited on Luke Metcalf. I wanted some exposure to that Waz left side. You see my center wing. It's a little bit annoying at the moment how I've ended up with it, but I'm backing one of my cows, and Metcalf, I'm going to have to hope that he comes out and does really well, and I think he can. A break even of 47. I expect him to be a high 50s guy with volatility in the 30s into the 80s there for sure, and if he can stay on the park, then happy days. That's the other thing as well. If he's got that little bit of an injury history, then Brownie can come in and cover that, and I don't have to worry about trading him if it's a 1 week thing or whatever happens there. Or I don't have to panic in the 5'8" position. I can move Strange up there easily, and I can get a good CT dub with Metcalf's cash. And there's a little bit of a love affair. One of my good mates is good mates with Lukey and been following his career since he was trying to make it at Sharks basically. So that'll be a fun one to watch. I think that he'll do well, and the Warriors will do well there. All right, centre wing. We'll get the fullbacks in there as well. Straight to fullbacks, guys. We go Ponga as the vice. I played Tommy T in the Vegas game. He looked great. I'm very excited to have Tommy for my center wing. So I've decided to drop down a little bit here, and that also helped me get Brown. So lock that in. I'm very happy with that. And I am fading Roger to start. Yeah, that's the worry. That's probably the only worry in this side is that I'm fading Roger, but there's other options as well, I suppose. I could go down a little bit from like a boss stock or something like that and use that extra cash to get Roger is a potential, and I'll definitely look at that. But who do you go for? And I think Bostock will make a bit of money as well. So there's a few question marks. And I suppose if I just went Joey Chan to Villy for feeder, then I think I can go up to Roger. That's definitely something to think about. Then who would I not play? Hutcho. Yeah, anyway, I'll think about that. But let me know if you would do that personally. Just to get Roger in the side. It would leave me with not much cash, I believe. Yeah, maybe like 15k. So something to consider, that is for sure. But potentially do that for and play to a picky and Roger. Go the 3 Warriors. That'll be fun. Anyway, Laybutt. Super excited by him. He's a little bit of a pod play. I think he can do better than that 46 average, get closer to a 55-60, make some money, do a good job. Taylor May, all in. Hutcho, he's got to be in the team, I think, and he's got some halfback cover if we need to move him up if something happens. We're not keen on the other options. There's that there. Tuapiki, I've decided to play him, so I chucked him in there over like someone like Salmon. I think he has way more upside, so that's where I'm at with Tane. I could play Hutcho or Tuapiki and get in Roger, as I said. We'll have a look at that. Salmon, Bostock, Strange, all guys that can make some money. So that's the team overall. Let me know what your general thoughts are on that squad, guys, because I'm excited about it. Let me know in the comments also what you're doing with your side, any sort of random pod plays or whatever you're deciding to do. Let me know on that one as well. But that's the side there, the overall team. I'll move to the head-to-head team, which I'm actually a little less settled on at this stage. Sadly, in this one, I had Corey Jensen and moved him to Spencer Leniu. He did get the minutes, but he didn't score too well, and now he looks like he's going to be out. So, and then Jensen came on. Obviously, when he got benched is the reason I changed him to Leniu. Of course, the benching, hey? He came on after 4 minutes when Pikura went down, so that was great, and played 50-odd minutes and scored 55, so that was sick. But Brandon Smith and Levi in this team as well. I'm still sitting with Hughes and Henry. I could go like Powasa for Henry, but again, I think I'm just going to back the talent, his work rate, and everything that can come out of it. Flegler, Leniu, I've got heaps of money in the bank, so the plan is to go Leniu to Terrell next week already. That's why the 214 is there, and then any other issues I have with the side. Lukey, Pikura, Tupanua I started with as well, so a little bit of a tough start there, but I did actually start Ben Trbojevic in my team in this one, so good on you guys. Good on you there, Ben, for that one. Sean Lane is still currently sitting in this side, and we'll have to... This one might be where I just go, yep, he's got the value, just lock him in and see what happens. If things don't work out and he's getting lower minutes, I could move him to, Beaufort Moore or Josh Curran, and these types of guys are potential options, obviously around the price, or I could go up as well with Shawnee. So we'll see what's going on. But the theory, obviously, with the head-to-head team is to try and get as much cash generation as possible. That's where Leniu was, if it worked out, he was the guy to try in that one. And then Flegler, I think, can be a sort of a mainstay in this one. And that's probably the only worry here with the bench. And I was looking at like Taumalolo for Henry, but then I wouldn't be able to get to Terrell. So yeah, there's a few thoughts around it, that's for sure. Someone like, I don't really like it, but Palacia could be an option there for Henry as well. And I think that still gives me close to enough to get up to Terrell. So anyway, that's that. Smithy's in there, so is Joey Chan. We could change Chan around as well in that one. But less excited, obviously, with the situation here with our 2RF, but do have that extra one in there to cover for Satilli. He could be one to move on as well, depending if how his groin scan comes back. So yeah, sticking with Lukey in both, sticking with Cleary and Nico Hines in both as well, which is cool. Dylan Brown in there with Lockie Galvin. So I'm excited by Galvin. I think I'm going to lock him in as the cheapie in that position. Trust that Brown's going to do his job, and happy days from there. We do have Roger in this squad, which is good. So Roger, Taylor May, Hutchison, and Benny Trbojevic in the starting team as at the moment. And then we've got Salmon, Bostock, and Strange. It's the same three. So yeah, keep it as simple. Guys, all three guys I think can make money. And that's that on that one. Ponga and Drinkwater in there at the bottom. So Drinky over Tommy. Hopefully he can go big in this one. Projected for 95 with that ridiculously high BE for those two, 87 and 83. Crazy how much they're priced at, but absolutely incredible players and do their thing each and every week. So that's the head-to-head squad. Obviously 214 in the bank means that a few things could be done. I was trying to look at the center wing a little bit. So it's center wing for me that I'm looking at, and the front row forward as to what I'm doing with it. So what would you do in this side, in the center wing or the front row forward, knowing that I'm probably, I'm going to have to trade Leniu to a Terrell? Do I do something on this bench, or do I was trying to go up as well at hooker, but it wasn't able to be. Not really any great options there. And then, the center wing there. Obviously got Roger in, which is good, but is there anyone in that sort of 400 to 500k range that you would look at in your sides? But that's the Supercoach reveals, guys. I've got a host of different leagues in there as well, which is cool. So a bunch of different head-to-head leagues. I'm going to show you all how I go with those. And super excited by all of this, guys. I wish you all the best of luck in your Supercoach season. stick around for my 1 to 2 videos a week. Yeah, 2 videos a week is going to be with like the round results, talking through the squad, and then going through some sort of head-to-head and overall strategy in 1 video per week there for Supercoach. So yeah, appreciate it. And if you're playing both, even better, you get thousands of videos from me each and every week. And I wish you all the best of luck heading into the rest of round 1.